give yourself that small win, even if it's an emotional win. It might sound weird, but give yourself that sense of accomplishment, that sense of achieving something, even if it's from within, that you did, if that makes sense. So for example, if you took the time to take a deep breath instead of going off on your coworker or your friend or your family member, and you collected yourself and you controlled what you could control, that is a win. If you emotionally regulated yourself during a very stressful time and you didn't go off the wall, that's a win. Because when you and I just disregard the accomplishment that we did, that sense of growth, that sense of being able to do something, that's when we honestly give ourselves a disservice. Because honestly, having emotional growth, having that emotional ability to understand another human being, but first being able to understand ourselves and to give ourselves the skills of not exploding on somebody, is when you can say that you are changing. Because honestly, I would even say that when you can say that you have emotional growth, that is, if not the same or more important than having that physical growth. Because you are able to emotionally regulate yourself, and when you're able to do that and have that intelligence and being able to read other people, that is when you can have that experience of exponentially growing physically and with your external performance. Because when you are in said difficult position, you can lean on your core and your foundation and your values and your emotional intelligence to be able to cope with that, to be able to deal with that. And I think the best thing is that you can do is it matters that how you, I was thinking of this earlier. It's important to say what you mean, not no. It's something it's not important. It's not important what you say, but how you say it. That's what it was. Because you can say so many things in such a different manner. So it's it doesn't mean what you say. From the perspective of if you're I don't like how you're behaving because that hurts my feelings, you can say that in so many different ways. For instance, more negative is I really don't like the way you act, and because it makes me feel bad. Or another way you could say it is, how you do blank makes me feel like blank. Rather than being really blunt and ambiguous, you give them an example and you mean what you say. Or you could just say, I don't like how you're acting right now. That within itself can give you little to no context, a little bit more context, and then all the context. And it's it doesn't matter what you are meaning to say, but it's the importance of how you say it is how you truly hit home with your point. But anyways, I want to leave you with this. Give yourself a pat on the back when you take into consideration all the things that are going on externally and internally before you make your next move. Because so often we wanted to hit our first instinct. But when you can have emotional patience and emotional intelligence, that is when you can make exponential growth. You've got this. Food for thought.